It's 7:20 in the morning, and we have a collision avoidance situation here. I've been watching this boat from about 10 miles out, and we've been on a very close approach to each other. And now we're just passing our closest point of approach, and this vessel, which I tried to hail on the radio with no response, is going to pass less than 3/4 of a mile, which is close by ocean standards. Let's go take a look. Well, it's the evening of day 4, and Wave Rover is heading east by southeast around or at about 4 knots. And the wind has subsided a bit from what it was yesterday evening. It's really variable. So we have lulls where it's about 5 to 10 knots. Then we have gusts which take it 20 to 25 knots. And we're probably in the groove there around 15 to 20 knots with the sails that I have up right now. And we'll go out on deck, we'll take a quick look at that, but first we'll just take a quick look around the cabin. You can see the barometer has fallen a bit. The barometer has risen a bit, so we can expect some sort of change tomorrow. Everything inside the cabin is ship shape. We have nothing showing on the AIS screen, no ships for 10 miles. And there's Wave Rabbit. Some of you have been asking what he's up to. So there he's just looking down and bringing us good luck. Now let's go outside. morning. It's 7:30 in the morning. It was a reasonably good night. The wind became very light though around 3 in the morning, and the sails started flapping. So I went up on deck and to see if there's anything I could do. There really wasn't, and I could feel that the wind was filling in again. So I just left everything the way it was, and this repeated itself a couple of more times throughout the night, but largely we were making on average about 3.5 knots on a east by southeast direction, which is what we want. I'm all alone out here, just Wave Rover, and there is no vessel traffic whatsoever. And then about right around sunrise, or actually just a little before sunrise, the wind increased and it backed a little bit more to the north. So I left the sails the way they are. I left the wind vane the way it was, because that steers the boat relative to the wind. And now we're making an even more easterly direction than we were before, which is what we want. We want to make as much eastward direction until we feel really strong northeast. Well, they call them the Northeast Portuguese trades. When we feel those, that's when we want to alter course to the south. And we don't want to do that too soon, or we'll find ourselves beating against a very, very strong wind at a time when we have many islands around us. So let's go outside and take a look at the weather. Well, as you can see, the sea has really leveled out a lot. The swells have come down. They're not quite as big as they were over the last few days, and this makes it a whole lot easier for the Mark III steering gear to steer a straighter course, and Wave Rover is making more miles as a result of that. Well, it's the evening of day 5, and Wave Rover is continuing on a east-southeast course, the same course we've been on for the last 3 days. And we'll continue on that course until we get to about 100 miles north of the island of Madeira. And once we're there, we'll then change course considerably and head south, and we will head directly to Gran Canaria, weather permitting, of course. And one of the things that hasn't changed over the last 3 or 4 days is it's overcast, and it's continually been overcast pretty much the whole time, and the humidity is a bit high, so it's cool out on deck. Anyway, I'll just let you see what the weather looks like. Well, it's a bit cool out there, but we are making good time. We're averaging about 4 knots, which works out to about 100 miles a day, which is great time for Wave Rover. So join me next week when Wave Rover deals with increasing winds and a decreasing amount of power in the battery banks.